Hello, everyone. So I'm actually going to start a new portion of series for Vanguard. This one's actually going to concern reverse units. So for those who are not in the know of Vanguard or are just joining up and saying, "Hey, these reverse units are cool. They do things that I love that they do, but I really don't know what they are," or for those who just want a reminder of what these were. Reverse units were main units that were reversed by Link Joker during the Link Joker arc. So any character that was defeated by Kai or another Link Joker user would become reversed, and they would gain weird red markings underneath their eyes. I believe that they actually did vary in terms of the design, but they were more fang-like in general. And also, they would gain a entirely new deck usually, or they would just gain a slightly modified deck with a new reverse monster that was, I believe it was most cases the unit was reversed based on what they used originally. So a good example of this one is the first person to ever become reverse was Naoki Ishida from in the first, I believe it was episodes 120 something, where he used the evolved form of his Sword Dragon break card called Vowing Saber Dragon Reverse. And as of this date, as of Link Joker, I believe the only clans that never officially got reversed up until now were Gold and Shadow Paladins. We never saw one for Genesis. We never saw one for Tachikaze. We never saw one for Mega Colony. I believe Nubatama was another one because we did actually get Hyaki Vogue reverse for I believe it was Murakumo. I'm actually let me restart that and say what it was. So Narukami had Vowing Saber reverse. Then we had the reverse of Lukier. Then we had Amon's reverse. Then we had Dayusha reverse. Then after Dayusha, we had Leopold reverse. Then during the rescue arc, we had Kakaitis. We had Ethics Buster reverse. We also had Angel Feathers Ramiel reverse. We had the Royal Paladin Jewel Knight Ashley reverse. And then we also had Maelstrom. We then had Maelstrom reverse and Dragonic Overlord reverse, the rebirth. So from what I remember, Genesis never officially got reversed in the original series. We also had Neo Nectar never officially got reversed in a match. It is possible that we saw them reversed completely off screen, so we didn't actually see the match. But they had the Maiden of Venus Trap reverse. So, and then we never had Nubatama, but of course Nubatama was very new at that point. We never officially had either Gold, Shadows. We never had Oracle Think Tank. We never actually had Gear Chronicle, but Gear Chronicle gets a pass because it was only created during the Stride seasons. And then Spike Brothers, Tachikaze. We did actually get a Link Joker card in the actual game, but not in the actual anime. And of course, this is just based off of memory. I'm not going based off of any kind of list, but the basic idea is we got a lot of units that had a lot of potential to begin. And at the end, it's what would have happened if Aichi never got the ability to unlock to defeat Glendios? Because we saw that it is possible to defeat an unlock ability with a lock ability, but we never fully saw anything beyond that. So one card and one specific archetype that did a lot of unlock focus. But I always wonder, what would happen to the bad side of everything? What would have happened if reverse actually won? Or a better way to look at it is, what would have happened if people had kept reverse power festering inside them, creating a new future for a unit? Like, a good example of this is creating a Jewel Knight Lord Stride that is Shattered Heart Jewel Knight Lord Ashley Reverse EX. and the EX is standing for a specific word, either exceed, excessive, or exceed. I'm, of course, just coming up with these ideas. I will come up with more another time. But it would have an ability called, a continuous ability called past recall. So if you, it copycats any skills that a heart with a specific name in it would have. So in the case of this one, it would copycat any cards, any abilities of a heart with Jewel Knight in its name. And I'm also saying that it's going to ignore any continuous abilities, since a lot of continuous abilities are kind of low power anyways. But it would have, the other thing is that it would have an ability that has a specific cost, and then you would have an alternate cost if you had any locked units. So this would be you could still play it in a regular Jewel Knight deck that does not run Ashley Reverse, but you would get a discount on the cost if you had Ashley Reverse as your heart. Or specifically, because it's copycatting Ashley's ability, it would instead be able to use the locked unit that you created with the Reverse's original ability, and then use that for paying the cost. So that was something that I probably should have mentioned. The main hallmark of reverse units was that you would lock your own units in order to get effects off. So using Ashley Reverse's ability is Counterblast 1, lock one of your rear guards. I believe it had Jewel Knight in its name. You choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the front row. Again, I'm going based off of memory. Retire it, then call from your deck another Jewel Knight, and it's until the end, and then that ability can no longer be used until the end of the turn. So it's a once per turn, Counterblast 1 to lock, retire something on your opponent's field, call something for your own. But like for this example, it would be active, Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 1, turn a face down card in your G zone with the same name as this unit face up, and then you would either bind one rear guard face down, or if you had a locked unit, you would bind the locked unit instead and reduce the cost of it by 1 Counterblast. So instead of being 2 Counterblasts, it would be 1 Counterblast. And then what you'd get is you call up to 2 Jewel Knights from your deck. They plus 10,000 power, 1 critical, and when this unit attacks, you can lock a rear guard. If you do, your opponent must guard with a your opponent would guard from their hand, they must guard with a number of cards equal to or more than the number of Jewel Knight rear guards you have on the field. So this is basically going along with the guard restrict idea. That's the example that I give. I've created a specific one, which I will actually cover in the next video. So enjoy. This is Bad Future.